Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 replay this time actually, so not really another as I haven't done a replay cast in a while, but I figured this is a good one. It's a really fun game and interesting, so I figured this would be a good one for the channel. So this is going to be on Arid Plateau. I'm in the blue Terran, Ketroc spawning in the bottom right hand position, and in the top left we have the red Zerg Railthon. Relethan? I don't know. I'm terrible at pronunciation. In fact, I'm so bad that up until a couple years ago, I always said pronunciation because, you know, the word's pronounce. Why wouldn't it be pronunciation? I don't know. So anyways, I'm throwing down an engineering bay here, and I'm just going to get some hit points on it, and then I'm going to send this SCV in to get his pool timing. Probably waited a little too long, especially on a two-player map where often they won't 15 hatch, and as soon as I see that spawning pool there, it's time to switch things up. So I immediately cancel that engineering bay and come out here to build my command center. As it turns out, it's a 14 supply depot or 14 spawning pool, so maybe it would have been okay. 11 supply depot though, you definitely want to get the command center immediately. So the inch bay block is to block a 15 hatch, and he didn't go 15 hatch, so that means earlier lings, and I don't have to worry about blocking them. Yeah, so why I chose this match is we're going to see something interesting here in that my opponent is going to build way more Infestors than I make Ravens. So we're going to see the ultimate caster battle. A lot of energy being spent, a lot of free units attacking each other, and some auto turrets on infested Terran action, and a lot of free harassment on opposing bases. And we're going to finally find out that answer of Infestor versus Raven in the ultimate battle of casters. I don't know. Usually when people talk about the battle of casters, they want to see, like, I don't know, Artosis versus Day 9 or something. Or Husky versus Total Biscuit. Those are both pretty good matchups. Like the battle of two really subpar players and the battle of two former professional Brood War players. At least foreign Brood War players, which is a lot different than Korean Brood War. Not so much of a skill gap in Starcraft 2. I mean, it's still there. The Koreans are still a notch above the rest of the world, but we can compete somewhat. Where in Brood War, like when White Raw beat a completely washed up boxer, it was like the greatest feat ever because no one could ever beat a Korean for any reason. Now we're beating Koreans all the time. With that said, of the top 20 players in the world, I'm sure 19 of them are Korean. We got some good players though. We got Huck, we got Idra, Thorzane, Naniwa. Rest of the world standing out. I also like this cool when you say foreign, it doesn't apply to people who aren't American. When it comes to Starcraft, it's like Korea's the main country, and then I should pay attention more to this match. It looks like he's clearing out his gold rocks here. Looks like I'm kind of late on my own expanding attempt. No, probably not. I guess where are we at? 10 minutes in the game. So just getting down my starports now. I get my 4 starports while I build that tech lab, and then I build the 5th starport. It usually works out pretty well. Good missile turret coverage, and here comes the Mutalisks, and I guess we'll start slowing this game down a bit. Looks like my Viking got 0 kills, so it was just moving out. Probably would have fought that Overlord, but either the Mutas were quick or my Viking was slow because I got no harassment time. If nothing else with your Viking, you just kind of want to zoom around the outside of your vision of your base, and that way you can kill off this Overlord and this Overlord. And they can become annoyances later. They can become overseers and start pooping, you know, what do they call those cloned Marines? Changelings into your base and spotting this crap, which you don't want. Or they could be used for like Anitis Canal stuff, and you don't want that either. And if nothing else, you use for vision, and it makes the Zerg feel safe. And you don't want the Zerg to feel safe. Safe Zerg drones a lot. Sending in one Mutalisk there. Looks like a suicidal scout one. I've never actually seen a Zerg do that, but it worked okay. Looks like you got to see 3 starports with tech labs. So it's got to be Raven, Banshee, or Battlecruiser. That's the only thing you could be thinking. Luckily, Raven's usually at the bottom of those lists. I don't know if more Terrans are using Ravens lately. Sometimes, in fact, I'm high enough now that I'm kind of starting to repeat opponents. And since my build is so unique, people start remembering me. Like, as soon as they see, like, a fortress at my natural, it's like, oh, it's the Raven guy. But that's okay. I can still usually, even if they metagame me some, I can... sometimes I still react poorly. So we got attack upgrades for both ground and air. So it looks like it's going to be a big mutaling kind of flock. Does he even have a Bailing's Nest? Yeah, he does. So he can morph Bailings whenever he wants. I don't think he actually has any yet, though, no. So just scooting around with some Marines. I'm going to... oh, actually, no, I'm not. I actually had them just queued up to this bunker and they decided to take the long way around. Getting some damage done with his Mutalisk here, and he's actually going to fly all the way in and see what's up, and he's going to find my Ravens. So I do throw down a PDD and kind of head up to my... run down a couple auto turrets and another PDD too. So I didn't lose any Ravens, and he's going to lose all his Mutas, but he did get a really good scout in, and I did waste 150, 250, 350 energy. Which is a decent amount, because I mean, this isn't a huge amount of Ravens, and it isn't a huge amount of energy. Like, I like my first Raven attack to be a really powerful one. Subsequent attacks can be smaller, because I have them dwindled some, I have them spread out a little more. And I have his attention split more between, you know, defending all his bases, getting up more bases, taking down the bases I'm getting up. But the first Raven attack, he's usually like, okay, here's my entire army, I don't know what this Terran's doing, I'm just waiting to react to whatever comes out. So he basically just has one thing on his mind. So moving out with 2 command centers here. This is something I'm doing more often now. In fact, I'm completely switching up my Raven play, but I'm not going to talk about that much in this video. But one thing it is involving is more fortresses. They cost less gas than a Raven, and they're pretty good. You get like, say, 3 fortresses at a base, and all of a sudden those bailing bombs don't become so effective. Like Mass Roach isn't so effective. Even Ultras can take some damage. Unfortunately, is coming out here, and I didn't really get a whole lot of Marines to help defend that. Here comes some more, and I didn't send in my Ravens here either. I had them right close by too. So one fortress is going to go down. It's unfortunate. And he's got full surround on this fortress, but my PF is like cutting some holes open for my SCVs to start repairing, so I was actually able to keep this one alive. I think he got down to about 100 hit points though, it was close. And I have one more command center that I was going to take this base with, but instead I'm going to move it over here. Now, if you're against a Zergling-based army like I am here, the positioning on my fortress is stupid, because if Bailings just plow in like right in this zone, they'll blow up both these structures with the same amount it would take to blow up one. So maybe I have a PF here and another PF like here, and that would make a little more sense versus the Bailings. At the same time, moving out with my Ravens. Doesn't have vision on it yet. I am assuming he has that watchtower. In fact, I sent over a Marine to take it out. Now I start sending in my Ravens, thinking he'll be unspotted. However, his Zerglings are so upgraded that one Zergling can kill one Marine now, because my Marines are unupgraded. That's kind of funny. But that's actually pretty common to have a Zergling tougher than a Marine with me. So he's going to totally spot it, and there come the Infestors, and there come the Fungals. So of course you want to flee as many Ravens as you can, and the ones that can't flee you want to throw down auto turrets with. A, to spend out their energy before they die, and B, sometimes if you just throw a lot of auto turrets on you and he keeps trying to fungal you and refungal you, the auto turrets will kill off as many infestors as he kills ravens. Fleeing back the safe way, but my raven count is down. If we go to the units tab, we're on the units tab. Whoops. Sorry for those of you who like the production, but you can see I'm down to 16 ravens. He's got 7 infestors, but we got another 10 infestors on the way, and this is where it's going to become a serious battle of casters going on here. Whoa! Looks like we missed something. Yeah, so here comes the Balings, and they're targeting this PF, but they're passing by the other one. Oh, so it looks like he killed about 29 workers there. Maybe had a few kills beforehand, but... So I was sending out 2 command centers over here, but now I'm just going to split them up and do one at each base. Also sending out some ravens just to throw down like a little bit of a buffer to buy time for these fortresses to finish. Be it TvZ or TvT, I highly suggest taking these 4 bases as your first 4, just because they're so close together. It's by air, anyways, so it makes it really easy for like mass ravens or battlecruiser Viking to support all of them. More Balings rolling in this way. And 70 hit points, that got close. I was thinking I'm going to lose these 2 air turrets. But yeah, definitely it only takes 2 structures to wall off this area, so wall it off. I have no reason to go that direction, especially since I expand this way. We'll get back to the expansion talk in a second because we have a lot of infestors coming in. Units tab, he's up to 23 infestors. So he's trying to attack both bases at once. That's a lot of infested Terrans. Got my SCVs on auto repair. They're actually kind of tanking some damage, which is cool. And it looks like I think both fortresses will survive, so that's good. This one's a little tight, but I think these infestors are going to die. Yep. So good. Meanwhile, Raven's heading off this direction, throwing on a scan. Always want to be, whenever you move in, you want to be wary of where the infestors could be. And notice the way I'm spreading the auto turrets here. In fact, I want to talk a little bit about this technique before I do it. Normally, say I want to mine up this base, what I would do is I would right-click right here, then hold down Shift and T for auto turret. It's funny, I don't actually know the hotkeys unless I'm pressing the button in my head. I have that with phone numbers too. Like, I don't know someone's phone number unless I actually type it in my phone. Yeah, so normally I would like move up to here, then hold down Shift and T, and then just spam a whole bunch of auto turrets in this zone. So what all Ravens will do is they'll all move right to this spot, and then like instantly throw down a bunch of auto turrets. However, that means they're staying really clumped up all the way up to here, which is what you don't want to do versus infestors. So first of all, I throw down a scan. So as I'm moving across the field here, like once I know I'm in vision of him, because I assume he has these towers. Well, I know he doesn't have this one, but I assume he has this one. So once I get to about here, I throw down a scan in front of me, just to make sure that I'm not walking into an infestor trap. And then what I do, instead of moving up here and then shift spamming a bunch of auto turrets, I move here and then I shift spam auto turrets all the way up to that point. And you can see how this works. I'll do it slow. So there's the Ravens themselves are spreading out. They're laying down like a highway of auto turrets. So all I have to do is move. If I ever move my Ravens to the left, I got a whole bunch of auto turrets between my Ravens and where the infestors are coming from. So it creates a highway of auto turrets, which will probably get in on the action, and it, like my lead Ravens, you can see they're kind of just dispersing out one at a time. So where's the good fungals here? Like, let's assume the fungals can start anywhere on this screen, and watch the Ravens come in. See, they're kind of coming in. You're not seeing this clump of 17 ravens or 19 ravens, right? They're just kind of coming in one at a time and dispersed. Now here I do reclump them out. See how I move, well, I said move left, but I just decided to move down. So the method here is to right-click far away from him, then shift a bunch of click an auto turret highway up into his base. That'll spread out all the ravens, and then shift click either to the left or down. So that way the ravens will move here, spread out nice and just have a nice spread so you can't be all fungal at once, laying auto turrets, and then they reclump somewhere safe and behind. That got cleaned up fairly well. Didn't do it a whole lot of damage. It did drain probably as much energy from his Infestors as it did from my Ravens, though, because he had to throw down those infested Terrans. And now he's up to 28 Infestors. So he harassed me, then I harassed him, and now he's coming back to harass me. Looks like something happened here. I'm not quite sure what that was. So here comes the infested Terran harass. Oh my god, that's a lot of infestors. My SCVs are kind of clumped up. Gotta be careful with this missile turret positioning. Notice how it's screwing up my own surround on the fortress. Not that that fortress is going to live anyways. So I threw down some extra auto turrets up here to kind of deal with his infestor count. And continue on to harass. And this is where the fact that it was mostly been 6 base on 3, it's gonna turn around a little bit economically, because this infestor's a way out position over here, right? So it leaves me freedom to go mine up this. How do I say mine up? I'm so used to like spider mines from Brood War. To turret up this base, and then to turret up this base, and he's still kind of chasing me with his infestors. He's chasing after where my ravens are. He's looking for that money fungal, but I'm still moving along. He moves pretty quick on creep though, but he's moving through auto turrets. These infestors are dying. He does get a fungal there. Catches a few of mine. I'm gonna mine up the ramp and keep moving. And throw out some high ground turrets up here to kind of deal with that, and some low ground turrets here to deal with this expo. And finally get this base. You see how I was able to travel between all of his bases and just getting chased by infestors the entire way. That never really caught up to me. You got a couple fungos, maybe killed a couple ravens, but that was mostly good for me. So he did clean up this base that I auto-turreted, but this one went down. This one got cleaned up, but there wasn't a whole lot there anyways. He cleaned up his main before he took out any tech. He cleaned up this base, but I'm sure I killed a bunch of drones there. And this base is completely going down. So if we bring up the workers lost tab, you can see I may have lost 110, but he's lost 80 now, so that's a lot of dead workers either way. I did flee back here. But I kind of sat there, so moving across here, I'm a little worried about whether I can get back or not. I do see the infestors, and I'm like, oh, okay, run. So he did kill my retreat path, so I did lay down the auto turrets and then get a little further south and try to get back to safety. But while I'm out of position, it's time to repay the favor, and now we got more mass infested Terrans going on here. I do have a full bunker though, and I do have a good repair circle going on this planetary. But my SCV count's down, my bunker's down. And yep, despite being in pretty good shape there, I still lost everything. And all it really did was cost me extra money on repairing, because his attack was free. Much like my attack, his attacks are all free too. And I'm quite broke now. Bring up the income tab. Our incomes are quite pathetic, and considering we built about 150 harvesters each, our harvester counts are really low. Looks like I was able to blow away this base. Sorry, I'm missing stuff. I did send my Ravens up here to kill up these 2 bases, but they don't exist, so I'm going to head back. And uh-oh, we might have a collision course here between Ravens and Infestors. So I do see this, and I'm short on money, so I gotta save these. Look, so luckily I hadn't actually completed the fortress yet, so I can pick them up and float them away. That's the one downside of fortresses. Other stuff you can just lift off and save. Fortress is committed to die. And now, you know, you think of Ravens as being, if you ever look away at the wrong time, they'll just all die to Infestors. But Ralathon right now is trying to get his bases back up, and he's not watching his own Infestors. And watch what happens here. I come in with the Ravens and do this nice, remember the spread? See, there's no real good fungal targets here. I get auto turrets on my side, and I get auto turrets on his retreat path. And then I do kind of clump over here, which is not the best place to clump at, but then I shift click a bunch of auto turrets on this retreat path too. And all of a sudden he's surrounded by auto turrets. And he's got nowhere to go. Remember, he started with 29 Infestors at the beginning of this battle. He does try to retreat by burrowing, but right in front of Ravens and missile turrets, that probably just slows you down. I don't see a whole lot of purpose there. And now he just went from 29 Infestors to 0. Units tab, 1 Infestor remaining. Somewhere. Somewhere. I don't know. That's the end of that. However, again, back to the income tab. Those are some pathetic incomes going on. Finally taking a base. I do have 14 harvesters somewhere. I guess I'll try to transfer them over. Oh, there's my income. This is my income right here. And now transferring over the workers and taking this 1 base. I did try to save this command center, but I don't see it anywhere here where I floated it, so I had to make a new one. That's what I was thinking. When you're completely broke and you have to try to find money to make a command center, and then you got one floating in your base doing nothing, goddamn. However, now it's Raven count versus no Infestors whatsoever. So again, just kind of making a highway of auto turrets slowly up this like going right up this way. So if I ever move to the left, I'm safe from Infestors. And then of course I kind of move to the left side of these auto turrets and retreat back. So this highway of auto turrets keeps my Ravens spread out, and then creates a retreat area. All I gotta do is move left, and then I can go along the highway, just staying to the left of it, and I got a safe retreat path all the way down to here. So I took out this base, took out this base, and I'm gonna get all of his tech structures here. Zerg is creating 2 new bases here, retaking this gold, distance mining, he does have more harvesters than me, and rebuilding a spawning pool to restart his tech, and an infestor pit to get the important tech, which is mass infestor. And of course I go along this highway. This is the unsafe area, so I probably threw down a scan to make sure I was safe, moved along this way through my safe area. Where are they? Nope, sorry, sitting here right now. This up. Missile turrets are not important because I know I'm not up against Mutalisks, but you still kind of probably want to get one, just so if he comes in with Infestors, your fortress can like pop at him. Because Infestors using infested Terrans will probably be burrowed the majority of the time. And taking the Zelnaga towers. This is a good one to take because I have an auto turret here already. I believe, nope, there's still only 3-minute duration. Now I'm heading up this side, throw down some auto turrets on the way to help protect this command center. When it gets late like this and where you gotta use auto turrets defensively, it's good to get that duration upgrade. Now I scoot up this side to see if he had any bases, and I do see these bases. Throwing down some auto turrets there, going to throw down some more over here. This is something you started doing at the end, Neural Parasite. Don't do this if you're Zerg. I mean, it seems all cool in your head, but you threw down 1 auto turret and that was a complete use of those things. Like in your head, you're like, yeah, all I gotta do is I take control of one of his ravens, and then I Seeker Missile all the other ravens, and it'll be so cool, and it'll kill his entire army. That's never ever gonna happen. First of all, it takes a lot of time to actually go through that process, and your Infestor has to survive all these auto turrets when it goes to the Neuroparasite. And then what's the odds of actually finding a Raven with enough energy to cast a Seeker Missile? Because any Raven that's in range of getting Neural Parasited is a Raven that moved forward to throw down auto turrets. And once they've done that, they don't have the energy for Seeker. So I did take out these two bases. His tech is still alive. He's got a hatchery here just for units. Spawning some more Infestors. And retaking this side of the map, and now I'm coming back. Obviously with this Alnaga Towers, if you look at my view, I can see everything that's going on. I know where his army is. It's coming really handy here. So again, where is a good fungal target? There isn't one. Yeah, neural parasiting a Raven, and there's like an Infestor that died in the attempt. So you gotta get pretty close. What's it now? We're 7 range? I think auto turrets are 7 range, so with the range upgrade, yeah. So don't do it. 2 reasons. 1, you're gonna end up finding a Raven that's low in energy, because those are the only ones that are exposed. And 2, you're gonna probably lose the Infestor, because it's gonna be in range of auto turrets. Scooping around back this way. I never finished my thought on the these 4 bases, but yeah, I like them because they're really close together for expansions. And even though this one is supposed to be like a 3rd, because it has destructible rocks here to help protect it and whatnot, so you only have to defend these 2 openings. Shut up, phone. It's just really far away from your base. I like these 4; they're really close together. So laying down another highway of auto turrets here. Coming up with some Marines on the side, because I do have some minerals finally coming in. Got an income going. And that'll allow me to get close enough. We'll clear out some creep first of all, and get close enough to kill off this base in any attempt to take this gold again. Though I don't think that was actually going to happen. And look at the mini-map now, he's totally contained by auto turrets. This is probably to do with the fact that I got 27 Ravens to his 3 Infestors, so this last portion of the game is just my spellcaster counting much bigger than his. Obviously the turning point was the time I killed 29 Infestors in 1 shot. At this point I would probably pull back all these links but 1. I mean, it's getting to the point now where every little Zergling counts. And again, scooping around. I just throw down a hatchery, but I do have this auto turret still in place. Sending out 1 more Raven. One of the Ravens to throw down a couple auto turrets here. I think it only has energy for 1. Oh well. And the rest I'm scooping back up this way to take out this space. Again, creating the highway. I did a little extra here because I figured I could get every single drone if I kind of placed these right, but they were able to scoop around the top. Still got most of the drones. And it's more or less this game's over, so it's going to speed up a bit. Again, I have vision. I can see exactly what he's up to. I can see his army. Man, having these towers is so awesome. And my Raven flock's up to 31. So this is GG. And however you pronounce his name has left the game. So 3 things I want to talk about at the end here. One was that that important attack. Let's see, when did it happen? It was after that. Yeah, so you can see his Infestor counts at 29. In fact, we can highlight them here. You can see he has 28 of them right here. And I got nice auto turrets behind, auto turrets ahead, all spread out. Because he wasn't watching. Only now does he get his attention back, throws out a bunch of infested Terrans. But he is in trouble. The infested Terran count's going down, which means these infestors are going to be priority afterwards. In terms of priority, it's probably a good thing to know for like when you want to focus fire. You always want to kill infestors. So to know when you need to manually focus fire infestors is important. When there's only infestors here, obviously they will get attacked by the auto turrets. When they throw down the eggs for infested Terrans, infestors are priority over eggs, so they'll still attack the infestors first. Once the eggs are complete, these become higher priority than infestors. I'm not quite sure exactly how priority works. Like if you look it up, they're the same attack priority. But things that can kill you directly are what your units will attack at first. So for instance, a Marine and a Marauder are the same priority, but a Banshee will always attack a Marine first because the Banshee can shoot back. So it's kind of the same theory here. The infested Terrans can kill the auto turrets, the auto turrets will switch their focus to infested Terrans. So at this point, if you want to kill infestors, you need to manually focus fire them. But with the infested Terran count going down and the infestors kind of only being infested Terrans being outside the range of these turrets, so they'll focus the infested Terrans. That's that. That's 20 infestors down. Second thing, we've been talking about Inge Bay blocking. So this is the idea. You throw down the engineering bay, and then you probably, let me see, you want to have 400 minerals for a command center if you need to cancel this. So you probably want to move into its base and arrive when you have about 200 minerals. That way, if you see a fast pool, you can cancel this to get 300 minerals, and then you can move an SCV over here, and by the time you get there, you'll have 400 minerals. So you probably want to move in right about, say now, whoops, I'm going too fast. Probably when you hit about 125 minerals or so. Yeah, right about now you probably want to move in. I did wait a little too long. I wanted to know what his pool is at like a little while ago. Because if it's 11 pool, and if he drone scouted, which luckily he didn't, but had this been 11 pool and had he drone scouted, he would see the command center and he would probably follow an 11 pool. Instead of following up with the expo and more drones, he would probably follow up with some lings and come at you. So obviously this engineering bay block is just block a 15 hatch. If I move in here and see that he's just placed his pool because he had to go 15 pool because of the Inge bay, or if I see that he has nothing down yet, so that he's planning to go 15 hatch, then I just come up here, get this up to 99% done, and do my command center on 16. However, if I see an earlier spawning pool, this one is actually pretty late because it went 14 gas, 14 pool, but it's still earlier than I expected. Then I cancel the Inge bay and immediately build a command center. I was so late on that I didn't actually have to cancel the engineering bay. It didn't speed up this command center at all. It will speed up my engineering bay and my barracks, but I don't know if that's actually really that important. Engineering bay I only need to complete by the time this completes, so it's not important. Earlier barracks, I don't know, I can get an orbital faster, I can get a marine faster. Also, not that important, I don't think. So I should have scouted with this SCV earlier. The only problem with scouting earlier with the SCV is, once you move into his base, if he was planning to 15 hatch, as soon as he sees your SCV, he'll throw down a spawning pool. Because he'll say, oh, there's an SCV over here, he's going to try to block my 15 hatch, I'm not going to try. So you do sacrifice something by scouting earlier. But that's my concept with the engineering bay block. I want to use it versus a 15 hatch and cancel it otherwise. This might be the one time I don't have to cancel it though, if it's 14 extractor, 14 pool, because that's a pretty late pool in itself. So the final thing I want to talk about is the new strategy I'm going to use, and I'll give you guys a sneak peek into it. It's a new way of using Ravens that I just kind of came up with one game. I was playing Red 13, who knows my style very well, so it's like high meta game where like he's going to throw down a lot of spines in all of his bases. He's going to go heavy economy. If I do the feint push, he's not going to fall for it at all because he knows it's not an actual threat. So he knows my build, and he knows basically how to economically get way ahead. Plus the match is going to be on Tiga Shipyards, which I don't like versus Zerg because it's so far from your opponent that sending out Ravens for harassment is pretty dangerous, as they may never make it home. So what I'm going to do is a new style where I'm going to go very turtley with my Ravens, and it's got a lot of pros to it. First of all, I'm going to throw down my third command center before my factory, so I'm going to get in 3 base fairly quick. Not as quick as the Zerg, because he'll be like economically huge, but still fairly quick. And then from there, I'm not going to harass with once I get my Ravens. I'm going to use the Ravens mostly, well, I'll do some harassment, but mostly I'm using it for defensive purposes. So I'm going to explode into my expansions. That's the way it's a term I'll use. So when I go to take my 4th, I'm going to send out all my Marines. I'm going to send out all my Ravens to throw down auto turrets all around the area. And then I'm not going to send out 1 command center. I'm going to send out 2 or 3 command centers to turn into planetary fortresses. And then a bunch of SCVs to repair and throw down missile turrets. And that's the way I'm going to start expanding. This has some good plus sides. One is it probably guarantees you're going to be able to take your expos nice. You're going to be really strong defensively, as you're always going to be prepared for incoming attacks. Your Ravens are never going out on these dangerous harass missions, so your Raven army is never really going to deplete. It's only going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and obviously the more Ravens you get, the more you get to that critical mass where you're going to start throwing out speaker missiles. Oh yeah, if you're a fan of seeker missiles and PDDs, you're going to see it more in this match than you've ever seen. Obviously the downsides are the 2 things I hate the most. One, the Zerg economy is going to get way out of control, because I'm going to put the feints, well obviously the fence isn't going to work against this particular opponent, and I'm not going to harass early with my Ravens, so yeah, he's got free reign. Second, I'm not going to be able to put any damage on him before he gets tier 3 tech, so I'm going up against a giant economy Zerg with tier 3 tech. So 2 gigantic cons, but some pretty good pros to this idea as well. And a base with like multiple PFs can actually do okay versus the things I'm terrible against, being like Ultras and Mass Roach. Because yeah, you know, Mass Roach attacking 1 fortress can come in and snipe it pretty fast, but if you're attacking 3 fortresses with Marines, with auto turrets, all of a sudden those roaches aren't that dangerous anymore. I mean, they'll still do tons of damage, but it won't be like just like a free gift of a base like it used to be. So yeah, check the description. There's going to be a thumbs up link to this video, and it's going to be from the perspective of Red 13. He's like a high diamond level Zerg that I know. So basically same skill level as myself in terms of like ladder MMR. And yeah, he's got a really good stream and a YouTube channel as well, so I'll put a link to both. And yeah, his stream's pretty cool. I would suggest it to you guys. You know, it's professional looking, it's high quality. He's got like a webcam on his keyboard, and he's got a webcam on himself, and he often commentates through games. Not always, but if he doesn't, he'll have good music in the background. With that said, this match was dubstep in the background. I don't like to use the terms good music and bad music actually, because, you know, a genre of music wouldn't exist unless some people thought it was good. But since this match, I think he has the game sound off and he doesn't commentate. If dubstep isn't your thing, just mute it and play your own music, because I think it's interesting to watch someone play against my style, or yeah, watch from someone else's perspective against my style. You can see how frustrating it can be from them. And then obviously you're going to see a kind of new variant to my style, which is very turtley, and you're going to see like a lot of Raven energy being spent, so expect to see a lot of seeker missiles. So yeah, with that we'll call it the end of this video. So check the description and you can check out this guy's YouTube and his stream, Red 13, and I'll also post links to this specific match I'm referring to. And with that, we'll call it the end of this video. Thank you everyone, and goodbye.